Greetings, I'm Adolfo with Adolfo Street Realty, and I'm here to talk about everything to consider when you're putting in an offer in Oregon from beginning to end, one full transaction. And of course, the first place to start is meeting your realtor and meeting your lender. These two are really, really important. The realtor is more for finding a house, and the lender is more for finding out how much you can afford and getting yourself a pre-approval. And ideally, you have the pre-approval already ready when you go to put an offer in. So that's step one. I'm going to be going through these pretty quick, as you can see, just to keep this video pretty short. And I've made a ton of other videos about each and every single step, going a lot deeper into each step. So next one is showings. So the idea is to get into houses that you can afford, ideally, and you already know what you can afford because you talk to your lender. And then you get into these different houses and you learn over time what it is that you actually do want. What is the most important thing to you? Is it the floors? Is it the size of the bedroom? Is it the backyard? Is it, just the condition? Do you want something you can work on? How much? What is something that you're willing to live with and what is not? So all these things become more and more clear as you do more and more showings. Some people know right off the bat, 5 houses, they choose one, they're ready to go. Other people, it takes them, a lot longer and maybe even never. So yeah, step 3. Offer. So making an offer is something that you really want to go to your realtor for in order to make it competitive and to know how to strategize around that. In Oregon, there's little things that you can do that might help, like shortening the inspection period or increasing the earnest money. Increasing the down payment perhaps gives the idea that you have more cash on hand, stuff like that. All of that helps a little bit, maybe. There's personal letters, there's personal videos that I've done, there's presenting the offer in person, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a big conversation with your realtor. And I made a video about the different things you can do in Oregon specifically. Next, and so 1, pre-approval / meet the realtor. 2, do showings, figure out what it is that you want. Number 3, offer, actually make those offers on the ones that you really like. Alrighty, and so far it's been however long you really want it to be. All of this, you can be making an offer and have it accepted within 2-3 days. I mean, if you're ready to go financially and you get that pre-approval really quick, a pre-approval can take 24 hours. So all of this can happen literally in about 3 or 4 days if you really wanted to. So now the timeline turns into about 30 days. After the offer is accepted and you're in contract. Now we're talking 30 days, usually 30 to 45. Shorter if you're paying cash. It can be 2 weeks if you're paying cash. It can be 4 or 5 days. And Bitcoin is a whole other story. And there's a video on that too. So as far as inspections, so in Oregon, it's usually a 10 business day period, 10 business days, which feels like 2 weeks, but, ends up being like, a total of, anywhere between 12 and 14 days, right? So, there's 3 typical inspections that we do here in Oregon. There's radon, sewer scope, and general home inspection. I get deep into those in another video. Step number 5 out of 6 is underwriting and appraisal. There's a lot of waiting in this part. This part is just a whole lot of waiting, and the bank might call you, your lender, in other words, your lender might call you and just ask you for additional financial documents regarding some money that you spent or some money that you made at some point in the last 1 to 2 years. So yeah, that's the underwriting and appraisal. And then the appraisal is the wild card. And that's a whole video in itself for sure. But that's when basically somebody comes by, values your house, puts a specific number on how much that house is worth, and the bank will not lend you more than that amount. And so you have to kind of negotiate or just walk if it doesn't work out for you, because the appraisal came in under what you're paying for the house, what you propose to pay for the house in the sale agreement, in the offer. All right, moving on to the last step. Step number 6, closing. And so closing is basically in 3 parts. You sign, you fund, and then you record. And so by signing, you literally sit down and you have what's called a wet signature. You sign a lot of documents. I mean, I don't know, 100 pages or so, a signature, probably like 25, 30, 35 signatures. I'm not sure. Title escrow handles the signing part of it. And then when they have those signed signatures, they send or those those wet signatures, they send those documents over to the bank, and the bank says, okay, well, then this is clearly happening. And they move the funds over, and that's called the transfer of funds. So step 1, sign. Step 2, transfer of funds. And then last part of the closing step is to record. And so when the money is moved and everybody's been paid and we're good to go, title goes in and says, you are officially the owner, and we will record this purchase with the county. And so that is essentially the 6 steps to a full transaction in Oregon. Let's go over those. So the first one is a pre-approval and meeting your realtor. Next one is showings, figuring out what it is that you like really. Number 3 is making an offer on what you like. Hopefully it's competitive, you get accepted. After getting accepted, we move on to step 4, which is inspections. And that's usually a 10 business day period. And then we go right into underwriting and appraisal if that goes well. And then if underwriting and appraisal goes well, we move into closing. Thank you so much for watching another video. And please hit subscribe and like and all those wonderful things.